Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies. This episode's movie is a doozy. Oh, if you want to join the fan vote, it already happened. During Tay's episode, the fans get to choose what movie we watch next. So we'll reveal what won at the end of this episode. No spoiling yourself by going to the Discord, okay? If you want to join in on the fan vote, or if you want to get a movie in, like a recommendation, just head on over to the YouTube channel, the YouTube version of the podcast, and comment on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Or come over to the Discord, link down in the description below, and comment in the movie stuff section saying, hey, I want this movie watched, or put onto the fan vote. And, of course, last but not least, send us an email at ff.filmfreaks@gmail.com. All right, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we introduce the movie. I am the sickly ferret, and I'm here with...
Waffles.
Hey, Mason.
Healthy ray of positivity.
All right. How's everyone doing today? Are y'all loco for Coco?
Yeah.
You know it.
Absolutely. C.
One thing I am is dead inside. No.
Ew.
Heyo.
I also feel dead on the outside.
There you go.
Well, what a transition. Ray, why don't you introduce the movie for us?
Okay, well, yeah, this was my movie, and I chose Disney's Pixar Coco. It's an aspiring musician, Miguel. He was confronted with his family's ancestral ban on music and entered the land of the dead to find his great-great-grandfather, a legendary singer. Excuse me, the directors Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina. Writers Lee Unkrich, Jason Katz, and Matthew Aldrich. Starring Anthony Gonzalez, Gail Garcia Bernal, and Benjamin Bratt. Oh, this movie. Oh my god. I love this movie. It took me forever to watch this movie. I did not watch it when it first came out. Did you guys? Like when it first premiered?
In theaters.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it in theaters.
I did.
Maybe I did.
I didn't see it in theaters, but saw it when it came out.
How was your theatrical experience? Because the colors in this movie just
Pop.
oh my word. They do something to me.
I mean, there's some movies that you want to see on the big screen, and this would definitely be one of them because it's a very grandiose movie. There's a lot of depth to it, you know, kind of like with Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. It was very like colorful and another movie that has a lot of depth to it in terms of like the animation style and stuff like that. And yeah, all the different. It was definitely a great experience. Obviously, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit like you have the audience laughing along with you, so it's a bit of a different experience because, you know, it's just me and the other half sitting on the couch watching it this time. So there's not like a audience participation element where everyone is laughing at the jokes. But yeah, I mean the theater experience was really nice. I would love to see this in like a IMAX theater or something like that.
Yeah. I would have just loved to see it in theaters. For some reason, I was not really drawn to it back, like, you know, in 2017. I was also trying to graduate college and had a lot going on, so I pretty much was dead to the world. Hey, at this time. But I watched it, I think 2 years ago for the first time, and I hate that I kept myself from this because this movie. It just, oh my word. It took me a while to not cry at the end of it for a while.
Like I said, I don't think I saw it in theaters, which I really wish I had, because you guys are right with all the colors and everything.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful. I think I saw it shortly after it came out to video, because I remember talking to I think my dad about it. He saw it in theaters with my nieces and nephews and stuff, and I guess there was a Frozen short in front of it or something that just was like a 30-minute, and it ruined the experience for him. He's just like, I don't care about Frozen. And by the time it was done, he was just kind of upset and didn't. I just remember him saying he didn't really care for the movie, and I was like, how do you not care for this movie? It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. I still this is one of the few Pixar movies that I'll just sit down and be like, I'm gonna watch Coco.
I don't even remember what that Frozen short was about because I definitely saw it when I was in the theater, but it probably just like went in one eye out the other.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Is the one where like Anna's sick or something?
I know it focuses on the snowman guy, Olaf. Is that his name?
Olaf, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said, I didn't see it in theater, so I didn't see that, which I'm glad because that probably would have soured my mood too. It was a half-hour long short.
That's crazy. I can't believe I don't remember anything about it. Maybe we got to the theater late.
Maybe
Maybe you just blocked it out.
Yeah,
maybe you
yeah.
knew.
Probably the same as
You knew, so you're like, well, the movie starts at 7. We don't need to be there till like 7:45.
Yeah, that's crazy.
or maybe you're like Tay's relative and was like, fuck that. Blacked
feel-
out your memory.
Yeah, I feel like I would remember that because either they didn't show it at my theater or I was just late to the movie and it was like halfway done or whatever. So I don't
That's
know.
fair.
But that does suck. I mean, as much as people love Frozen, obviously it's like one of the best-selling like movies from Disney at this point.
Okay.
Do we really
so I
need
just looked.
30 minutes?
Yeah, and I just looked it up. Disney eventually, like after like a week or two, removed it from in front of the. Front
maybe
of the
that's
Oh
what
my
happened.
gosh.
There were so many complaints.
Because
Wow.
I didn't see I didn't see it opening weekend, but I remember seeing it like a week after or so.
Yeah, Olaf's Frozen Adventure. That's what it was called.
Oh, goody.
Oh, interesting. Well, with this movie and all the colors and stuff, I actually looked it up, and at this point, this is the most lights that Pixar has ever had to deal with. There were 8.7 million lights, 27 million objects, and 200 million shading points, with 1 billion file assets for this movie, and I'm guessing for the Land of the Dead. So huge. I mean, so
Well, it
much
paid off.
time.
Yeah.
It sure did. I think they won like what, 2 Oscars?
Yeah, one
out of
for
this?
the Remember Me song and then one for
Mhm.
Best Animated Feature.
Which I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was much competition that year anyway.
oh my gosh.
What else came out that year, animation wise?
I think it was like Kubo and the Two Strings or something like that.
Oh, that. Are you sure? Because that one's really good too, and I think that one won some Oscars as well.
Not by my knowledge. Maybe won a Golden Globe. I don't know. I can't.
Boss Baby came out that year.
Oh, what an upset!
Yeah,
What
wow.
an upset.
All right, podcast over. We're done. No.
Despicable Me 3.
Yeah, no.
There were some like bigger ones that came out that year.
Yeah, Kubo came out in 2016.
So yeah, I mean, it's between those two movies you just mentioned. There's no contest. Coco
Yeah.
definitely beats both those out.
The Lego Batman movie came out that year too, though.
I mean, that was fun, but
Yeah, it's a fun movie, but it's not Oscar movie.
like it's not Lego movie.
It's true.
You know, like Lego movie
Yeah.
definitely deserved it, but didn't win it. Whereas like Lego Batman, I was like,
It's a cute movie.
yeah, it's fun. You know, it's got its moments.
Oh, Loving Vincent came out that year too. That's a great movie. But I'm an art nerd, so anyway.
Which one?
Loving Vincent. So it was basically a bunch of college artists that painted this animated film. Like it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. But anywho, back to the movie. Anywho. What did you guys think of like, oh my gosh, what are they called? The big animals on the other side. Alebrijes.
Alebrijes.
I mean, they were all pretty small besides Grandma Amilda's.
What was her name? Pepita? Oh my gosh.
I think so, Pepita.
Yeah. Freaking terrifying for one. I was like, okay.
I loved it. I was just like, I want one.
Right? After a while, it got better. I mean, Dante as an Alebrije, that was great.
That was great.
I love Dante. He's such a good dog.
A derp.
I gotta ask this
Yeah,
question
dog.
because my partner also brought it up. So he turns into an Alabrije because he dies during the movie, right?
I feel like he
she
was
pointed
always
out.
Alabrije.
Well, she pointed out that when he licked the makeup or whatever, he kind
Uh-huh.
of gagged, and then you didn't really see him for a while.
That's interesting. Yeah, he did. He like gagged and cringed for a second.
Huh.
So
Huh.
she was thinking that that's where he died, and then that's why he's now in Alabrije. But then again, Dante can obviously interact with him before any of that happens. Like as soon as he goes into the
Yeah.
Del Muertos world,
Yeah.
So
'cause right away.
it doesn't really line up too well, but kind of. I mean, it was in the back of my head after that scene after she said that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I mean, right from the get go, he can interact with the dead, and like the aunt thinks he is one immediately, and then it's like, oh well, maybe it is just a normal dog. But it's like normal. Do you normally interact with other just normal animals?
Maybe he was Hector's dog. Did we ever think about that?
Well,
And so then the fact that he got on the ofrenda, then Dante became an Alabrije,
I don't know.
I don't
Theories
either.
on theories.
right? No, that's interesting. I never really thought about it. I just kind of, it's like one of those things you're like, oh yeah, sure, that happened.
Yeah. But I don't think I appreciate Dante as much as I did this time around. I like his the comedy of his actions. It's just a dang dog too. Like it was so funny. His expressions and how they animated him was perfect.
My favorite was like when he was doing like the tricks and he told him to shake and he shook his body and
Yeah.
made my day.
Yeah, he's just got that dumb lovable face. That dumb
that derpy dog face.
Thirsty dog. So I just read a thing about Dante. When you first see him pop out of the trash can, it's next to a vendor who is selling Alabrije toys.
Yeah, one of those
That's
toys is
interesting.
does look like the great grandma's Alabrije.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Dante's guiding him the whole time to Hector and like the rest of his family and stuff. He's totally an Alabrije like the whole time. Gotta be.
Huh, I wonder how that does work though.
And I guess they did show the cat, like the big cat becoming the small cat at the end too. So
Yeah.
That is true.
okay, so the Alabrije live among us.
Alabrije Inception. Interesting. What was your guys' favorite, like, did you have a favorite song, a favorite segment in the movie?
Yeah, what's the one that he sings on the talent show stage?
Coco Loco?
Yeah, that's my favorite song of even though Remember Me is obviously very touching and very heartwarming and very cry-inducing. That song was just so much fun, especially with how they start doing like the harmonies in the middle of it, and Hector comes out and starts dancing and whatnot. It's just
Yeah.
it's kind of like the first actual song of the movie too, which is kind of crazy. It takes a little while to get into it.
It is, other than like when he's up in his like little attic playing his guitar and stuff. Like you don't actually hear a true song. That's interesting. That took a while.
My favorite is looking at Proud Corazon, the one they sing at the end.
All right, now
That's
say
probably-
that
that's
with
a
the mic
great
closer
one.
to your mouth.
Sorry. Proud Corazon. It's definitely. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The one they sing at the end. It's just a good song.
Yeah.
I like I like all of them. I think they're all good.
Yeah, the soundtrack is absolute fire on the album. Well, the movie, not album, but it is an album. It has a soundtrack.
Yeah, same thing. What about you, Greedy?
I mean, they're all good. I hate to be that guy, but they were all good. But the ending song was no fun.
Yeah. I think the ending one is also my favorite, but my favorite, like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie that's, like, kind of funny is during the talent show when the nuns are performing and there's just that one guy in the audience that's, like, having the best time.
Yeah.
That is, like, one of my favorite scenes. I don't know why. I don't know why he was having a great time, but he was the only one, and I'm a fan of him.
Well, maybe that's none of your business.
Hey, that's fine.
Womp womp.
As long as I get to enjoy his happiness, that's all I care about. Because it's hilarious.
Yeah,
So
I would say that sorry, Tate, that section where they're kind of going quickly through a bunch of different performances was probably my least favorite of the movie because it reminded me so much of Sing. And if you know me, I despise that movie so much.
I've never seen it.
I haven't either. Didn't this come out before Sing?
I don't remember. I think Sing was like 2014 or something.
Yeah, I thought Sing was like 2013 or 2014.
Oh, okay. I just know that the sequel, I think, is what I'm thinking of.
I will say at least this movie had like original songs that they were doing, whereas like because Sing is just a bunch of like 1 second pop song while the funny animal does and
Oh, it came out in 2016, so it was the year right before this.
But yeah, that just it reminded me of that, and I was like, I'm kind of turned off. But then they started doing the Loco song, and I was like, okay, I'm back. We're back.
Yeah, Loco Coco or Coco Loco.
I had a second of like, oh no, and then we came back. We got back.
We got back.
Yeah.
I wanted to say going back to the Proud Corazon song, like you see his cousins playing instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a year later, and it's like, okay, one of them mastered the accordion, but the other was like playing the violin. I'm like, I'm sorry, you did not learn that in a year.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I was like, no, she secretly was doing some music stuff too.
Hey, look,
Wouldn't that be something?
If Miguel can learn to play guitar just by watching someone on TV,
that's true.
I think she can have like a year of tutoring and start playing the violin.
You know what? That's fair. It's in their blood, I guess.
Yep.
Bullshit. Why can't I learn guitar on YouTube? I mean, you could, I guess,
you
but-
probably can,
Yeah, you
honestly.
but it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
I learned to paint by watching Bob Ross. It's kind
Me
of the same
too.
thing.
Oh, that's different.
Yay.
Yeah, they're both
Learning all
art
about
forms.
dip.
But yeah, I really like the design of that original guitar he had. Just kind of like pieced together with parts.
Yeah.
And it sucks so much
Yes.
that his grandma just smashes it.
Oh, she was so toxic.
Yeah, dang.
So toxic.
Yeah, that part kind of peeves me a lot when he's just let the boy play,
Right.
or at least don't smash it.
It's so crazy that I get it. Mama Milda hated music, and then Coco was just like, I'm fine with it, whatever. But then her daughter is just vitriol and just hates it more than even Amilda does, and you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah,
Right.
I can only assume that the grandma instilled it in her because maybe Coco was,
Yeah.
not super heated about it, obviously, and that she spent a little bit too much time with grandma, and she was maybe getting drunk on some tequila, and kept going off
Probably,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense that Coco loves it too, because that's what she remembers of her dad, and
Yeah.
that was probably the last time she saw him was singing and playing guitar. So she has that's her core memory of her dad.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't hate it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I also love the little cameos in this movie too, like the Pizza Planet truck and
Yes.
the Buzz Lightyear and Woody hanging.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's the
Yeah.
Easter egg for Toy Story 4 was coming
Yeah,
out
that's
after this
it.
one.
Yeah. I didn't even see it.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of conspiracies. Well, not
It's
anymore.
it's not a conspiracy.
But there was. It was like, oh my god, did you see this? And they show a bunch of movies like that.
Yeah, before Finding Nemo, in the movie before it, Boo had or was it Monsters Inc. before that? I don't remember, but
Yeah.
there's always a little hint for the next movie, and this one was the one before Toy Story 4.
Interesting. I didn't know. I knew about the Easter eggs, but I didn't know that they were hinting to something. I thought they were just being quirky and oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna throw a Pizza Planet truck in here.
Yeah, because the Pizza Planet truck's in almost every Pixar movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one Easter egg that's been consistent that doesn't link to the next movie coming out.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is-
there's a
which is
whole cult out there about it, so just look it up. You'll find it. They're like, oh my god, this
What?
proves that there's Frozen 10 coming. It's like, what?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
like,
there's a
alright,
YouTube
relax.
video that just kind of goes like big red circle over Woody, and it's like, did
Yeah.
you see this?
Yeah.
Top
You won't
10
believe what
secrets
happened.
from Disney movies you won't believe. Number 10 will shock you.
Yeah. Oh man. Gotta love the clickbait.
Gotta love Watch Mojo.
Well, do we have to?
No, not at all.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the movie is the main antagonist, who doesn't really become the antagonist until like the last half of the movie, I guess, or last quarter. What's his name? Fucking
De La Cruz.
De La
Yeah.
Cruz. A good name too. Like De La Cruz. I like how his interpretation of "Remember Me," because obviously he didn't like Hector didn't write down the whole song, so he like it changed into like this kind of grandiose love song instead of being like, "Remember me as I walk out the door," or whatever. And
Yeah.
I would like to hear. I guess I could probably look up the full rendition of it because there's probably something on like the album.
Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of like a grandiose, kind of more theatrical song. And when the original intent of it was to kind of be like an intimate, just a guitar and a singer kind of thing. So it's interesting how he took that and changed it into, well, didn't change it, but maybe just kind of like worked it into his own thing.
And that's what killed him.
Yeah, well, the bell killed him, and then his
Well,
hubris killed him.
Yeah. Well, the bell killed him while he was singing that song.
Yeah, I'm, a lot of people have been debating this for years. Like, is De La Cruz a good twist villain? During this time, there was a lot of like bad twist villains, like from Zootopia and stuff. And I think that I think La Cruz,
Like Cruz.
De La Cruz.
he doesn't work 100%, but I think that like when the twist does happen, he does become like a very threatening villain, even if it is for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I do like the twist that like, oh yeah, he killed Hector. Very dark movie, by the way, but he killed Hector and took his and just kind of took his songs and took his guitar.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a decent trick. Cause like, for up to that point, it's lost on you a little bit if you've seen it before. But like the first time, you're just thinking, oh yeah, this is his grandpa. It's got to be.
Yeah, there's
And
no
then
reason not to believe it.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh shit, he killed the actual grandpa, and stole all his music because he was good.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what people's arguments were, but it like for me, it's like 80% good twist villain, 10% kind of lame. I think it's just because he's introduced, or well, he's not introduced, but he gets molded into the story too late in the second act. I feel like if he was more of a part of the second act, like I think that maybe it would have worked a little bit better.
I mean,
I just feel like he's kind of there, and then a couple scenes later, he's just kind of gone.
yeah. I mean, he's featured, throughout the whole movie. That just everyone referencing him and how he's the best, and he's such a good guy, and he writes great music, and he's the best again. And it turns out, no, he's not. He's just a murderer and a thief.
He's just the worst.
He's the worst. And then he, he'll do anything to protect the status he has.
It is a bit
Including-
cliche how they, just pointed the camera at him, and he revealed his whole plot.
Yeah.
That's a bit, maybe that probably does factor into like that 10% don't like him
Yeah.
as a twist villain.
And that's fair.
I feel like they could have handled that a better way. I mean, I like how he ends up getting crushed by a bell. Obviously that's just desserts.
Yeah.
But they probably could have gone about it a bit differently. How it's he doesn't have to do his big monologue in front of his whole family, and he's about to kill Miguel. And it's like it just that didn't work for me entirely.
That's fair. And it was
I'll
very
make him-
cliche, but
I totally didn't see it coming when I first watched this movie.
right?
And-
Well, you don't, because everything they've told you is, oh yeah, this is his grandpa.
Yeah, but like I also felt kind of stupid for not putting two and two together.
Yeah.
So.
They do kind of mislead you with that photo of him. Like you can only see his torso, and the torso is very broad, like he is.
Yeah.
I think they kind of, because Hector is very skinny. I don't know how. Like he must have just been puffing on his chest in that photo.
Yeah. Well, he had his hand out with, and his suit just kind of was not the best fitting. So it made him look broad.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a red herring or so.
Yeah. So I was saying, when they put the head on, the actual head of Hector on the picture at the end, it does suddenly go, oh yeah, the body does fit. It does look like Hector.
I don't think so. I think the head just looks too small on the torso.
That's fair. I thought it looked fine.
I love this movie.
I
I forgot how much I loved it. It's been a while.
I still tear up at the end when he's singing "Remember Me" to his grandma Coco.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
do too. I don't cry anymore, but I definitely tear up.
I tear up, and it's just like so sweet, so cute. And I just love that it's she's losing her memory, but then suddenly she's like, oh yeah, I got my memory back.
For like a hot second.
Yeah, enough.
It's kind of cool because music does do that. Like, my grandma, she passed in February. She was 93. She had severe like dementia, but she could still sing like songs, like she knew every word, and it's just crazy that our brain can do that.
Yeah.
She had no idea who anybody was, but she knew like nursery rhymes and then just like random songs from like the 50s. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's stories of like people in comas who are like you play like a certain song and they somehow, some way snap out of it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, this hit a bit harder this time around because just like Ray recently lost my grandma, and she also had was getting, she had a bit of Alzheimer's happening.
I know.
It definitely hit a lot harder this time around because when I first saw it, like, I don't think I'd lost anyone in my life at that point. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely hit harder the second time.
Yeah. When I know for a little while there, like I couldn't even listen to any of the music or like watch it or anything because my wife lost her parents, and it just would break her. So she was just like, no, skip this, skip the song. And it's just like, oh. But she was able to. I was like, well, I asked her before I started. I was like, "This is what I'm watching. Do you gonna be okay with it?" And she was, "Yeah, I think I'll be okay." And she watched it with me, so.
I'm sorry for choosing a sad one.
It's okay. Like it's sad, but like at the same time, like
it's sentimental.
Like, yeah, like I feel it makes me feel connected to those who have passed. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, it's coming up, Dios de la Muertes. It's like maybe I want to make an ofrenda and just tell stories about all my past relatives and stuff.
Yeah, I have friends that are Mexican and they celebrate, and one of them asked me if they wanted me to if they wanted anyone on the ofrenda that I was close to, and I was like, oh my gosh, that meant so much to me. Like that's so sweet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice sentiment. It's a beautiful movie in a lot of ways. But yeah, the ending is like, it's probably like one of the best conclusions to a Pixar movie, at least.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it resonates with a lot of people, and you don't have to be, you don't have to be Mexican to resonate with something, and
yeah,
a lot of people are afraid to maybe go out of their comfort zone. Like if you want to make a frienda, make one. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think that it's like a lot of people celebrate those that they've lost at the end of the year on like New Year's. But I don't think they do it. A lot of people don't do it in this way where they like put up like the photos and cook their favorite meals or whatever. But I think that it's a really nice idea. Like the idea of the spirits of your loved ones coming back and having some food with you and just kind of having their presence around with the candles and the pictures and the stories being told.
Yeah. Like when he's going through the cemetery and like he can see all of the people that are visiting, and then all of the ones that they've lost are also visiting them, even though they can't see it. Like, that makes me choke up all the time, because they're like, you're seeing how tall their grandchildren are getting, and like they get to experience that and like see their loved ones one day out of the year. I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm getting emotional.
Think about the dog.
Oh, Dante. What a derp.
What a derp. Yep.
He can't be a real dog because tongues don't work like that.
Well,
I've seen some.
have you ever seen a bulldog?
Wrap its tongue around like Great Ninja in a scarf and.
Have you seen a
Absolutely.
giraffe?
Yes, giraffes have tongues like that.
Well,
Sure.
this is a giraffe dog.
Oh. Okay.
Magic giraffe dog.
He's magic the whole time.
The whole time.
I do like the theory though that he dies in the middle of the movie and no one notices.
I do too. It's actually kind of hilarious and genius.
Yeah, that really
The
made
movie
me
would have been
think.
too sad then.
It's
What?
not like they showed. They kind of pan
Not
away from
saying.
it.
I'm saying if the dog died.
Oh, well, he's so derpy. It's just like, oh, he's derpy in real life. He's derpy on the other side. It's just, he's just kind of going with it, regardless of
Yeah.
of his state.
He's just going with the flow.
Yeah, I love the
Oh.
design of all the characters in here too.
Absolutely.
the-
They are phenomenal.
Like the skeleton people, they retain a little bit of like what they looked like in the real world, right? I like the design of them and how
Yeah.
like everyone has like these unique, almost like tattoos, I guess, across their
Yeah.
face and stuff like that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
And
Yeah. Well, I do remember seeing like a behind the scenes something a while back about trying to make it so the skeletons actually could emote and have personalities instead of just being a skeleton. Skeletons don't have muscles.
right.
Yeah, I love how they manipulate like the skull to like show the characteristics in their faces.
Yeah.
I think that was really clever. But I googled if Dante actually died, and no, he does not die. Dante is Miguel's loyal. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Xoloitzcuintli, which is the national dog of Mexico. Those
Oh.
dogs are
Oh.
nearly hairless and often have missing teeth, causing their tongues to hang out.
I have seen those dogs.
So, I guess I
He
don't know. That
was-
didn't really explain it though.
Yeah. He was the spirit guide the whole time.
He becomes an alebrije from Miguel's declaration.
Oh,
What was his declaration again?
I don't know.
that he's gonna steal the guitar and make music.
Yeah, something like that.
Or was it the declaration when he's like writing the lion saying like, I'll go back even with your restrictions, family's more important.
That
Yeah.
makes more sense. You know
Yeah,
what?
we'll
That
go
makes
with that. Aw, I freaking love this movie. I think I've said that
Yeah. It's a good
11
movie.
billion times.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, is there another Pixar movie that I would rate higher than this one? And the only one that comes to mind is Ratatouille. Really,
Really?
That's a good one. I would,
Monsters Inc. would be up there for me.
Monster.
The first Monsters Inc.
yeah, I love that one too.
Yeah, that one doesn't have as satisfying as an ending though, because you just get he goes back and she goes kitty, and you're like, but what happened next?
yeah.
They're rated higher than Cars or Up? Or is that's Disney? Cars is Disney. Never
No,
mind.
well, I
No,
mean, this is
Cars
No,
is
Disney.
first is Pixar.
Pixar. I was
I
like,
mean,
what?
it's all Disney now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
True. You rated higher than Up in Cars?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this, but I did a podcast where I ranked all the Disney and Pixar movies, and I put Up in C tier. And Cars is
Finding
good
Nemo.
for like a young boy, but like as an adult, like you question the world too much.
The first one, I will say, for Cars, like I remember just going like, we even saw it as like a family with like extended family. So I'm thinking this is going to be so dumb, and being like pleasantly surprised that it wasn't so dumb. But yeah, it's definitely like a C tier.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, when I was a kid, I played the video game. I loved Cars. As I grew up, I was like, well, it's not really that good. Like, and then you watch the second movie, and it's like, well, that was crap.
Yeah, I never even saw the second or third one. Like I said, the first one was pleasantly surprised, but I was like, they're not gonna pull that off
Again.
again.
Yeah. But they
I'd have
already
to
are
say-
stretching how like the world building too. Like it's yeah.
Yeah.
I Coco, Soul, Inside
Soul's good.
Out.
Inside Out's good.
Um,
I even liked like it came out right at the pandemic, so it didn't do very good.
Turning Red?
The one Turning Red was good. That was that one Disney or was that Pixar? That was Pixar.
Honestly, they both blend together at this point in my head. So
Yep,
Right.
same.
Well, Turning Red, and then the other one where like it's the mermaid turns into a man or a
Oh,
kid
Luca.
on land. Luca.
yeah,
Like,
I
I
really
that.
liked Luca. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
Luca was tainted by COVID for me because I was dying. I was on my deathbed when I watched that movie, and I couldn't laugh because I would die. And that was very difficult because that movie is hilarious. That movie was so freaking funny. And every time I wanted to laugh, my lungs were like, I swear to God, if you try one more time.
Yeah, pretty much the same
I
thing
haven't
happened to me
watched it since.
with Encanto. I took this COVID shot and
Oh,
I got very sick afterwards. So
yeah.
and I was like
Encanto was
kind of watching, but also kind of like not watching Encanto. And
Encanto reminds me a lot of ways of like Coco. Like watching Coco again, I was like, oh yeah, this part reminds me of Encanto. Like I like both movies. I think they're both really good.
yeah.
yeah, hindsight being 22, I did like it, but I
Yeah.
was
Well,
very much
Encanto-
like. It's
Yeah,
kind of probably the same
Encanto
thing with
was-
Luca for Ray. It's like
Yeah.
it's great, but God, did I
Yeah.
have a terrible experience watching that?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
Encanto
it
is
since.
Disney versus Pixar. So
They all
Um,
look the same now.
they are looking a lot the same. Which is why I liked Pixar originally, because they actually, I mean, they changed up their character design, and Disney always was the same. And finally, in Kanto, they went, "Oh wait, we can do different character models." And then since then, they've been changing things up a bit.
Oh, like with Elemental.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
Wait, was that-
Elemental.
was Elemental Pixar or Disney? I can't remember now.
Oh my God.
Actually, it was probably Pixar.
Yeah, I liked Elemental.
Eh,
Like it's still like maybe B tier. Like it's not like the best or anything, but it was fun. I liked it.
it was better than I expected. I'll say
Yeah.
that. But I definitely would keep it in like C tier. It's average.
Yeah. Well, I had heard like so many things about it being like it was just meh and dumb and then I watched it, was like that was
Yeah. Well, a lot. Yeah. I won't say.
Oh, all right.
But-
Well, does anybody have anything else to say about it?
Oh, I wanted to keep talking about Pixar movies for the rest of the podcast.
Oh, I mean, we can.
I liked Pedal Bridge in Coco.
You
I
like what?
The Pedal Bridge, just and everything.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Man, to animate those leaves brushing up against
Yeah.
Hector's legs, that probably took
Yeah.
forever.
Oh.
I remember back in the day, I watched the special features for Monsters Inc. And Monsters Inc. was like a pretty breakthrough movie in terms of like hair because Sully was
Yeah.
just all hair. And they were talking about how complicated it was and how all the hairs had to move in their own speed and whatever, or do whatever, all own physics. And now I mean, I didn't even
Well,
I didn't even look at the hair on the skeletons for the most part. Like they just
Yeah.
was with the
I mean, at
leaves,
this
though.
point, they have particle physics like down pretty good. So I guarantee it was all just particle physics. Like it probably took forever to render,
Yeah.
but it probably wasn't as difficult as it was like Monsters Inc. time when they were creating new stuff. This stuff was already created because
they're,
of
they're probably
Monsters, Inc.
rendering the next year's Pixar movie right now. They're probably still doing it.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably been finished for like years.
This movie was written and done and everything 2 years ago, and it's gonna be ready next year.
It kind of loops back around to like Turning Red because I mean, the main character is pretty much just a giant red panda. So
Yeah.
all those different hairs going around.
I mean, I know they keep announcing, like they announce Pixar movies, like basically when they're done, but they're still rendering and stuff, like a year or two in advance. Like I know they've announced the next one, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but like it looked interesting. But
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
yeah, it wasn't. I know it was another like. I thought it was another like Mexican themed one or something, but I can't
Are you
remember.
sure it wasn't Toy Story 5?
No, definitely wasn't that.
Oh Lord, it's coming. Toy Story 5 is coming.
Oh, of course it is. I finished that one 4 years ago, and it's still rendering.
That one was actually done before Toy Story 4 was released.
Yeah.
They're just using such advanced technology that it takes 5 years to render.
Elio, I think that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. And then Hoppers is after that, and then Toy Story 5 is in 2026.
Oh boy.
Lord.
I said it once and I'll say it again. We didn't need Toy Story 4, but it was good. We definitely don't need a Toy Story 5 no matter what.
We didn't
Yeah.
even need a Toy Story 3. Can we just stop?
Right?
I mean, for the age range they were going for, I think it was the perfect time for that movie. Because even I was like, I grew out of my toys, and I was like, well, they're just kind of sitting in the attic. And I got them, and I brought them with me to my new house. So it definitely resonated with me being, moving out and leaving your stuff behind. But I was like, no. I got to take this stuff with me.
Okay. I'm looking at all of Pixar's releases. Another one up there for me is The Incredibles, which we forgot.
Yeah, I just wish that movie needs like a remaster. It just looks so ugly now.
Yeah. Brave was really good.
Brave was really good. That's an underrated movie.
Yeah. So after Coco was Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, Elemental, Inside Out 2.
Oh, Lightyear. Lightyear was like, it was kind of boring. I'm not even gonna lie.
Thank
you.
God. I
Seen
thought you were
it.
about to say that it was another hidden gem. I'm like, no,
No.
please.
No, for one,
No.
I
I've never
didn't see
seen
it.
it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard not good.
I watched it right around the same time as Encanto, I think. And it's such a drag. It's like, I think my review for it was, if this was the movie that Andy watched when he was a kid, I don't know how he fell in love with Buzz Lightyear, because it
Right,
was just so boring.
Well, I heard that's how it begins. Like, this is the story he saw, or the movie he saw, and it has nothing to do with like the toy stuff. Like, doesn't make sense. I don't know. I just hear it was bad.
Well, yeah, and then the twist is just awful. It's just like number one bad twist villain of all time. And like, yeah, you're right. It does fuck around with the toys because, Zurg, he says, "I am your father" in Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in Lightyear, it's just old Buzz. It's like old man Buzz is in the suit. It's like, how does this make sense? This doesn't make sense. Did Buzz go back and fuck his mom and then I don't understand. Marty McFly.
Elio it's right. It's a sci-fi movie. That's right. I'm just reading. Like, get abducted by aliens or something.
Well, didn't they just do an alien movie with
No.
Strange Planet? No, what was it called?
Oh, that was Disney, not Pixar.
Oh,
Yeah, and that one was apparently meh.
yeah. They've kind of had a rough going. They had Lightyear. They had that. I mean, just Disney and Pixar together have just kind of had a little bit of a rough patch.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they can get back out of it, but with Toy Story 5 on the horizon, I don't know. Maybe Toy Story 5 will subvert our expectations entirely.
Maybe.
Like, maybe they'll kill off Woody in the first second. Like, the first scene is like Woody gets his head chopped off. And Sid's back. He's like an old guy living with PTSD, and he sees Woody. He's like, you!
But he turned his life around. No.
He's a garbage man.
He's a garbage man, but he's loving life. Garbage men make pretty good money too, so And what's coming after Toy Story 5 is Incredibles 3.
Yeah, another Incredibles. Woo.
Yeah, I was like, not something anybody was asking for.
Well, I might. Yeah, we might be getting it. Yeah. I think it's a problem with Disney in general. Is one, they like remaking their movies all of a sudden. Two, they really love doing villain backstories that completely ruin the villains, like Corella. And three, they just love doing sequels to movies that don't need sequels. It's just over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, that's just Hollywood in general. They milk a franchise until they get no money from it. And then they wait 20 years and then come back to it.
Hey, Back to the Future never came back. So.
Well, yeah, because that wasn't owned by Disney or DreamWorks or like basically, yeah, the owners of that were like, no, you're never making another one of these.
We're done. But yeah, that's what the the Disney is. I mean, even though I still like a lot of what they have done,
Yeah.
it's just so unfortunate to see them just milking, like, they're milking the Lion King right now with the Mufasa movie coming out. It's like, do we really need this? Like, a backstory for Mufasa? Like, he's a fucking lion. Who cares? You probably already know I hate the Lion King from 2019. I hate that with such a passion, a burning passion, because I grew up on the Lion King movie.
Right?
Yeah.
And they were really just milking the fans of that movie for all they're worth. And I was like, this sucks.
I will say, at least in Mufasa, they learned from the first one and actually are making it so the animals can emote. But at that point, it's like, why don't you just animate it? Like, don't make it a live action movie when it's all CGI anyways. It's not a live action movie.
It all started with Beauty and the Beast, which, I mean, was a decent, like, remake.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
But, like, that just kind of started the ball where that made so much money. And they were like,
Because it was done well. And then you have fucking Aladdin. That live action Aladdin pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, my sister's a huge fan of Aladdin. She hated that so much.
Yeah.
Same.
Because, like, the first two, because they made Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book, right? Those were their first two?
Yeah.
And those two, were done well with care and love, and that's why they did good. And then
it also made sense to do, like, Jungle Book live action, because it's like, he's interacting with animals and stuff.
There's actually live action in it, just like in Beauty and the Beast. But yeah, Lion King doesn't make sense. It's like, we're going to make all the animals CGI. That's not live action then.
Yeah. We could probably talk for hours about this, but
yeah.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say about Coco?
If you've never seen it, be sure to see it. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, Ray, start us off with your final thoughts and rating.
Final thoughts. This movie is beautiful. I absolutely love everything about it. I thought the animation was incredible. The style was amazing. Colors, beautiful. Music, incredible. Anything else that I can add a bull to is this movie. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
I thought you were going to give it a 1.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but
For the meme.
being generous.
Yeah, kind of ditto on pretty much everything. I think it's a beautiful movie, great music, great animation, great lighting effects and character and animations and character designs. I'm like kind of 80%, 10% on the villain, which is just a personal problem, I suppose. But other than that, it's really good. And I will give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I thought it was good. The character designs were awesome. I really like the skeletons. The story is great. The message is great. A little sad at the end. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
I've loved this movie. Like, this is one of the few Pixar movies I can just sit down and like be scrolling through, streaming services and see it and go, been a year since I've seen this. Let's watch it again. The characters are great, the music's great, the colors and everything. It's just good. I agree with Ray. I can give it a 5 out of 5.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, right.
All
Yeah,
right.
one of the main things holding me back from 5 out of 5 is that Puss in Boots is, I think,
Yeah.
better. And I gave that a 5, and I'm like, I can't give them
It
both a
can be
5.
just as good as Puss in Boots.
No, I
Yeah.
can't. There's only one 5 out of 5 animated movie for me. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that because I think The Lion King's also 5 out of 5. But, yeah. There's I think that Puss in Boots just makes me feel more, so that gives it the extra push. But we've already talked about that movie in the past, so does anyone have any small recommendations that they would like to say before we reveal what the next movie we're going to watch is?
So I'm sure everyone's familiar with the chocolate guy on TikTok who makes like crazy sculptures and whatnot.
Yes.
No.
If you're not,
Yes,
well,
no.
he's great. Go watch School of Chocolate on Netflix. It's him teaching people how to make chocolatier stuff. It's also a bit of a competition, but unlike most cooking shows, no one like gets voted off or kicked
That's
off.
so cool.
Which is nice, yeah, because like they're there to learn as well. So he's like, no. So like if they lose a challenge, it's like you're not doing the next challenge, but you're getting like a one-on-one lesson with me, kind of thing,
Well, I'd lose every time. Shoot.
right? Well, you still want to win the competition.
Eh.
Yeah, it's like $50,000 and stuff to win,
Okay, yeah.
and a bunch of other cool stuff. So it's like winning's definitely priority, but it's fun. It's it's only like 6 or 7, maybe 8 episodes. So it's not like it's a super big commitment, and yeah, it's cool to see all the stuff they can make with chocolate and other pastries and stuff. So
Yes.
that's my small recommendation.
You say
All
chocolate?
Chocolate. I have a small recommendation. Especially for this time of year. If you've never seen Over the Garden Wall, I highly suggest it. It is kind of trippy and kind of wonderful, and my favorite saying comes from Over the Garden Wall, and ain't that just the way? Because you can use it in almost every single scenario possible, and it fits. I would know, because I've gone through several positive and negative scenarios in the past week and a half. And it fit, so
Oh, good.
there's mine.
Mine would be mine probably not really small, probably bigger. Honestly, is make sure your plumbing pipes are unclogged.
Yeah.
Because I had to unclog my sink pipes, and it was not fun.
Oh yeah, no.
I had to
Earlier
rent-
this. No, yeah, sorry.
I had to rent a heavy-duty snake, and I barely got it, but I got it.
Yeah, I would say
Took
earlier
about
this
6 hours.
earlier this year we had a similar issue, and like we actually had sewage like coming up out into the shower. So yes, definitely keep those pipes clean.
Yeah, so it's a friendly reminder to either put Drano down. Not if you're on septic. If you're on septic, don't do Drano. And run hot water or something, maybe. Clean your pipes.
Yeah, agreed.
Would you all like a video game small recommendation or a movie small recommendation?
Ooh.
Yes.
Movie is easier for me. Or why can't... ¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do both.
Yay.
So the movie recommendation, it's getting mixed reviews. So, go into it maybe with a grain of salt. But if you like the Terrifier movies, which I do, I like them. I mean, they're not rated as highly as you'd expect, but I do think that they are, for a gory slasher movie, they do that really well. The story and the acting, not so much. But the main meat and bones are really good. Terrifier 3 came out recently. It's a perfect holiday movie for you and your family. It's a massacre, and it was fun, and it had the best story so far out of all of them. It's still not a perfect movie. Like, I still gave it like a 4, which is still good, obviously, but as much as I like the main, like, Art the Clown is the main guy, and he's acted really well by David Thornton and and all that. I feel like the movies, they just lack a lot in like some substance and story and acting. Like the first movie, as much as I like the kills in that, it's like, oh, it's just it's so hard to get through sometimes. Same thing with the second one. Like it got better, but also the acting somehow got worse. Like at the same time. So this one was the best of the group so far, which is saying a fair amount, I suppose. But it is getting some mixed reviews, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
I do like how Ray was excited for a movie recommendation that she could enjoy, and then it's one she won't.
Yeah, it's one she'll hate.
Well, here's one that she might enjoy. I also watched Moon Age Daydream, which is the David Bowie documentary kind of thing. And it was trippy. It was cool. It was fun. Lots of really intimate moments with David Bowie. If you like David Bowie's music, if you like him as a person.
Okay.
It was very trippy and it was very good. Not as good as some other musical documentaries. Like, as you all know, my favorite is Stop Making Sense, which is the Talking Heads one, but still very good, very trippy, very good. And as
what was that game?
Yeah, as for the game, I recently replayed Resogun, which is like a PS4 game that came out early PS4. It's a shoot 'em up, side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and you save humans, and it also has like a horde mode kind of thing to it, just trying to survive and get your multiplayer up. It's really fun. All right, time to reveal the winner of the fan vote. And the winner was Starship Troopers from 1997, directed by Paul Verhoeven. The synopsis is, set in the future, the story follows a young soldier named Johnny Rico and his exploits in the mobile infantry. Rico's military career progresses from recruit to non-commissioned officer and finally to officer against the backdrop of an interstellar war between mankind and an arachnoid species known as the Bugs. And this stars Casper Van Dien, Dina Meyer, Denise Richards, Jake Busey, Neil Patrick Harris, Clancy Brown, and many more. And this will not be a first-time watch for me. This will be like a third-time watch. But I am excited to revisit the sci-fi classic here.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah.
That's
the one with the silly cops, right?
Cops?
Are they cops or
soldiers?
Soldiers?
I don't
What's
know.
the one with silly cops?
I don't know. R.I.P.D.
There's a lot of silly cop movies. Most of them
maybe
have
it is
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. Now this one is a sci-fi adventure where I we'll talk about it, but it's a sci-fi adventure where they shoot bugs.
Is this the one with the they're upside? No, it's not.
No.
What's the one with where the the case is upside down or something like that? What's that movie?
The Case?
Couldn't bother. Yeah, the case. Never mind. Move it.
Okay.
Move on.
It's probably not that movie that you're thinking of.
No.
It is available on Amazon and all the regular places. If you want to check it out before the next episode, or if you want to join the conversation, make sure that you watch that before the next episode airs in 2 weeks. The person who recommended this movie has been MIA on both Discord and YouTube for quite some time, so probably won't be able to get any input from them, but it is nice to honor their memory. I don't think they died, but it's nice to honor their memory by watching the movie they wanted us to watch all these years later. This was also one of the first ones that was ever recommended to us.
Maybe they still listen.
Well,
And if you do, hey.
Only time will tell. Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to say before we end the show?
Do you guys have a favorite word?
Word.
Yeah.
Probably a swear word, honestly.
Yeah, say,
I love saying
comes up
fuck.
to mind. Fuck straight.
Super Troopers. That's the movie.
Super Troopers.
That's not my favorite word.
Is
Yeah, Super Troopers.
is so different than Starship Troopers.
Well, that's troopers.
But there's troopers, yeah.
Meow.
That's the movie.
Meow?
And they're all upside down?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Meow?
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Meow.
I feel better now.
Meow.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Meow.
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 That's the movie I thought
Meow.
we were watching. Right. Anyways.
Meow.
Favorite
Meow.
word apparently is Yemmy is meow.
Meow.
Even though he has a dog.
Meow.
That's a reference to Super Troopers.
I-
Come on, Grady, keep up.
Meow.
I haven't seen Super Troopers.
Oh.
Oh, well then. Okay then. Well, we know what Greedy's next recommendation is.
Nope. I'm done picking bad movies. No more bad movies.
Super Troopers is good.
Oh, okay.
Super
Maybe
Troopers
I
is
will
so
pick
good.
it.
I haven't seen it in a while.
My goodness. The two main directors of that movie, there's like 4 of them who wrote the movie, but the 2 of them were on John Goblicon's podcast last week, and it made me really have a lot of nostalgia for that, because Super Troopers was like an obsessive thing in like the early high school for me and my friends. We would always
Yeah.
just say meow to each other in the hallway.
Oh, we know what
Meow.
Yummy's picking.
No, you see, I get the opportunity to do like a Christmas / kind of
Thanksgiving.
Christmas movie, so yeah, meow.
Yeah.
My
See?
favorite,
Yeah.
Meow.
my favorite word is faux pas.
Faux pas.
pas.
That's a good one.
Faux pas. It's so much fun to say because you get like the satisfaction of the and the satisfaction of the
The paw.
faux pas. Faux
Yeah.
pas.
Faux pas.
Anyway, I heard it today and I was like, wow, I forgot about that word and how much I love it. So that is my favorite word.
Yeah, it's. I think my favorite way of saying fuck is fiyuck. So it's kind of like Goofy saying it, you know.
Fiyuck?
Fiyuck.
Yuck.
I think that that's my. I don't do it a lot because it's like it really needs to be the moment, but every once in a while you'll hear me go fiyuck.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And on that note, I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with.
Papa Waffles.
Taymation.
Meow of positivity.
And this has been another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Thanks for listening. Meow.
Bye-bye.
Meow.